That's Sean Kennedy, Come Closer, from his Love Don't Live Here EP. Sean, welcome back to Irvine BFM.
Good evening.
Sean, last time you were here, you were just about to jet off to New Orleans.
Yeah, that's right.
How did that go?
It was good fun. Just out for the jazz festival in New Orleans, which was that was really cool. Met some cool people too. The festival was excellent. That was mostly just for the festival, but my friend Stuart Bell was a musician as well. We went together, and there was a few whiskey nights actually.
No busking in the streets?
There was some busking. It was good fun.
That sounds great.
It was good.
I mean, was it a good buzz in the place, Sean?
It was, because I think was it Mardi Gras? I think that just finished over there, so you had all the beads lying over the trees in the street, so obviously the buzz was still left from the Mardi Gras, and it kind of fell onto the festival.
Did you catch any of the gigs, Sean?
Oh, it was amazing. Like, obviously the festival, so and the Friday, obviously someone that inspires me is John Mayer.
Oh, yeah.
He was the Friday, and I saw Dave Matthews Band, Billy Joel. The Saturday I got to see B.B. King, which is something that I might not get to see again. So
fantastic.
But it was a good festival. Different vibe from here.
I mean, does that kind of environment inspire you to in a songwriting? Yeah,
of course. Just even through the whole festival, you had some random stuff that I've not seen at festivals in the UK, and you had like these kind of American Indian camps set up, obviously doing their own like stalls, and they were all lined up. They were all in a circle in their chairs, and they were doing their native kind of songs, and basically just mics set up, and they're just singing in a circle. It was just a cool vibe, and it was just good. Families as well, just enjoying it. Completely different from back home.
Now, coincidental.
Yeah.
Next week again, you're jetting off to Nashville for 3 months. I mean, what's in front of you there?
A big adventure. So
wow.
That's going to be good fun.
I mean, you say it quick, 3 months. It doesn't sound long.
No,
but when you say 12 weeks,
yeah, it is. It's definitely there's plenty of time to kind of get your feet on the ground there if possible. It's obviously that's the land of kind of songwriting right there. So
it certainly
you can
is.
Go and learn a trade if you want to there.
Yeah.
And take in the experience.
So I mean, you're there for a long time. Are you going to do some gigs or?
Yeah, it's going to be as much as I can. I mean, I've got some things set up already, which I'm pleased about. And the whole of kind of last year I've been recording, so I'm going over with something in my back pocket.
Absolutely superb. Now, you've always said that your music is Americana influence, Sean. Are we going to hear a kind of countrified Sean Kennedy when you come back?
There's some hints of country in there, which is really cool. I mean, that's the way I'm. Obviously, Americana and some Bonnie Raitt stuff, and then the more kind of deep country stuff. That's it's obviously inspired me over the years, but that's the way I'm feeling right now for this album. So possibly in the future it might go rockier. It might go more kind of blues. So. It's just how I'm feeling, but there's some country in there, yep.
Now, Sean, over the past year, you've been working very hard in putting your debut album together. I mean, how hard has it been to pick the right songs for the album?
The whole last year, there's been some songs that's been lying about for a couple of years, which I've actually got ones that I've not even recorded at all, and ones I've re-recorded. And as the years kind of went further on, there's been new additions. There's been a couple of co-writes, and I've been asked to record a couple of songs too. So there's a fair catalogue there, which I'm really pleased about. So it's going to be hard when I'm picking for an album. But for now, the first thing's sort of to Nashville and get the experience going. So.
I'm actually feeling quite humbled that you've actually brought some tracks from the album.
Yeah, I thought it was fair.
In tonight, and we're going to play a track that you've been playing. I mean, you've been playing it for a wee while now, and it's The Gill from Christopher Street. Now, some people have heard the story, Sean.
Of course.
Some people haven't. So tell the people the influence of this song.
Okay, long story short, when I was in New York for the marathon in 2011, I played in some small cafes, and one of the cafes on Christopher Street in New York was I was on stage playing, and everyone's having a good laugh and enjoying themselves, and a few drinks, and this girl walks in and sits in the corner of the room and orders a coffee on a Saturday night, and I mean, she was a pretty good looking girl, so that's kind of what caught my eye. she was just really cool and chilled out. So she sat in the corner and I'm on stage playing away. She eventually spoke to a few of the boys that were with me, and then mid-set she left, and I was like, that's a bummer that. So I finished up the set, and I knew she was gone, and the bar manager in the place said the girl that sat in the corner asked for your details, and I was like, that's pretty cool then. So I got a piece of paper and wrote down most of my details and just whatever way she could get in contact. And to this day she's still not get back to me, so
well, you know what you've got to do now, Sean.
Yep.
You've got to go back and run the marathon again. That's it.
I've got to save my cash for New York.
I know. Deja vu. Anyway, we'll play the track.
Yep.
This is a girl from Christopher Street from Sean Kennedy's. Do we have an album name yet, Sean?
There's a few. I've not kind of knocked one up for 100%, but yeah.
But this is a girl from Christopher Street. I remember hearing this song when you had not long written it and you performed it in one of my shows at another radio station.
Yep.
So for me to hear the evolution of that song, and it just sounds absolutely fabulous.
Thank you very much.
Now, you released the Love... Let's go back a wee bit. You released the Love Don't Live Here EP. That was just a bit back end of 2012.
That's correct, yep.
Were you never tempted to put another one out before the album, Sean?
I thought about it. I was still learning a lot, and basically the songwriting thing, and it was just I didn't feel as if it was a big thing that I had to do, was bring another one out. I know a lot of bands just keep firing EPs out and stuff. I just thought that was enough for a taster, and maybe it's been a while since I did release something since the EP, but that doesn't bother me. I've been working pretty hard in between. So
yeah, you've been gigging hard as well.
Yeah, there's been a few good ones. Yep.
We'll talk about gigs a wee bit later on. Now, is the album, I mean, I've got a few tracks here.
Yeah.
Is the album mostly like new songs, or will people hear some older songs that you've been performing for a while? Like that, like The Girl from Christopher Street?
Yeah, I mean, obviously people know that song, hearing it acoustic or possibly hearing it with the band.
Yeah.
But that'll be the first that's really been heard outside the studio. But there's a lot of songs that people have kind of... Well, obviously not heard the recordings. I've possibly heard me mention this is a new song I'm going to play live, but there will be a few new ones. Plus, there's a couple of new mixes of the older stuff.
That's good.
So it's still a whole catalogue. Just because I released an EP with some songs doesn't mean that's them.
Oh no, I mean,
back, so.
I think the songs that you recorded for the EP were songs that you were doing at that time, Sean, and represented where correct, you were at that time.
It's true.
So that document is there for people to have and listen to.
Yeah.
They don't need to hear them again on an album.
So these songs are still part of me, even when I remixed them, and it'd been a while since I sat in the studio and properly listened to the old songs, and I still really appreciated them myself, and that's quite a thing to come from somebody that's written them.
Yeah.
So, yep. So
the next track we're going to play, Sean, is Cowboy Lament. Tell me a bit about that.
I mean, that's a song that's written by a good friend of mine, and probably one of the most talented kind of singer-songwriters to come out of Scotland, J.J. Gilmore, that was in the Silencers. And I mean, I've been working with him just back and forward for the last kind of few years, and he's had a lot of good feedback from him and advice, and that's one of the songs that was on his last album, Slow Commotion, and it just always grasped me straight away. It was the song that stuck out the most because it was just the sentiment of the song, the lyrics, and it was just everything. It just caught me straight away. And when I decided that I was going to be going to Nashville and stuff, and when the songs that I'd been doing for the album were they were starting to gel together, and there was a theme going through them, and there was a kind of conversation from JJ, why don't you think about recording the Cowboy Lament? And I was like, God, speechless, because that's coming from someone that's inspired me since I started listening to music, never mind even started performing. I
mean, as an artist, Sean, how do you approach someone else's song?
I mean, obviously another influence of mine is Bonnie Raitt, and she doesn't write all her songs, but her delivery's as if she wrote them when she was crying her heart out, and the way that she delivers is just phenomenal. And I don't know if that shines through in me being her being my kind of influence, but you've just got to, like a lot of artists, even kind of artists that are just coming through and they're finding a way to try and will basically find who they are, and it's after maybe a year or two that you find your sound, and I think the natural thing just comes out when you're recording someone else's songs, and I'm really pleased with the way it's turned out, and kind of grateful that I've been asked to record a song like that, which is it's really, really good. So,
well, this is another track that is destined for Sean's debut album.
It's going to be one for Nashville, I believe, in my heart. So
this is Cowboy Lament. We were talking there just at the start of the song. I was saying to you how when I first met you and had you in session, and I've got to say the confidence has grown and grown.
Yeah, just thanks very much.
I mean, it's the fact is, when you first came in, I remember the first session, you were great at singing, but when it came to actually having a conversation,
it's just you were
and a wee bit shy maybe as well.
Of course.
And now we've come 3 years down the line, you're sitting there and you're quite comfortable doing the kind of the radio thing.
Yeah, no, that's obviously before it's an inexperienced thing, and I suppose you just kind of find your way, as I said before, obviously through the music, but you get comfortable with doing the radio thing, and I suppose if you know what you're wanting to talk about on the show and stuff like that. So.
That's it. Gotten some texts in, Sean, so I've got, hi Ronnie, listening to Sean Kennedy's music and he's absolutely amazing. I am the unofficial president of the Sean Kennedy fan club in Glasgow, and we're all listening in. Go Sean, America is gonna love you. And that is from Pauline Gilgallen.
Thanks a lot.
And she also added that she is the girl from Christopher Street.
She is actually here.
And we've got another text in, no name, but they're saying, loving Sean Kennedy's brill. Where can I get his album? Well, the album is not out yet, Sean. When are you planning to release the album?
See how Nashville goes first, and then when I come back home, we shall see when I'm going to release it. It feels as if it needs to be a summer album, so it'll be kind of, it'll hook onto the summer at some point.
Don't be one of these artists that comes back, Sean, and says, I'm not releasing it, I've got all these brand new songs I want to do.
Palanatini style.
Oh, yeah, I know. Keep that for the next album.
Yeah, exactly. So
I think it's going to be a big thing for you, and I think you're quite right. It is. You've always said to me that it is a summer album, and release it in the summer, get a nice day.
Yep, of course, that makes kind of memories. So.
Yeah, music to listen to on a lovely day. Sean, you were down in London a few weeks ago and you played a few gigs. How did they go?
That was good fun. Played at the Bedford in Balham. That was good to do it on a Monday night. They have 4 or 5 acts, and all acts do 2 songs, and it goes round everyone and then 2 again. So that's pretty cool. It's good for a Monday night, and there's always a good listenable crowd. And then on the Tuesday, a small open mic, and the Wednesday was in Bar Solo in Camden with our good friend Miss Emma Jane. I was just about to mention that. I mean, Emma Jane is another great singer-songwriter, Sean. It's ridiculous how good her voice is. I know it is. And it gets me every time, because her influences are like my influences, so there's a good connection. I know I've said this to you before, Sean. There is going to be the right song that will come up. That'll suit both your voices. Of course. And it'll be a great duet. And it's going to be a good blend. I know at some point it will happen. Obviously, we've both got things that we're getting on with, but I'm sure at some point it will land. And it's quite funny, as she's heading off to Nashville as well. A bit later on in the summer. August, I believe. Which is good, and they will love her. They'll just they will. Sean, she'll just eat it up, because that's it's a thing. There's not a lot of there is a lot of fan base for Americana and country here, but it's not loved in the same sense as over there. So I know exactly. I think that's where she'll feel in her own. So I'm sure she'll enjoy it. Million miles from home, Sean Kennedy live in Studio One here on 107.2 Urban Beat FM and online at www.urbanbeatfm.com. Sean, is there a story behind that? There is a story. It's just about when someone leaves home for a dream that they maybe had, and a place that they thought that it'd be pretty easy to get a hold of their dream, and it looks so good from afar, and until they actually get there and they realise how hard it is, and it's not as easy as what they thought. and it's a million miles from home.
Yep. Sean, last year at the Freckfest Festival, you had your band on stage.
That was good.
How did it feel for you and the guys to be on that big stage?
That was excellent. I mean, there was a couple gigs before. I played with the band, obviously played with the boys that I had for the EP launch at Oranmore.
Yeah.
But it was a kind of fresh new band at Freckfest, and it was excellent playing in the big stage, and all this ISIS crew that did the sound. It was just, it was excellent. Just a good vibe, and there was a good crowd. It was really good.
It was it was just a great vibe, and it was great actually to see families coming down and listening to the music.
Yeah.
I mean, we had yourself, you's rocked it. I mean, your dad.
Oh, his band were excellent. Even now,
I mean, it blew me away. I mean, Jack, our station manager, he was with us and he kept saying, "Oh, who done that song? Who done that song?" And I'm saying, Jack, it's all original material.
Yep.
And it was just phenomenal. And JJ Gilmore as well.
Yeah, of course.
It was good to finally meet him. So it was
having everyone playing in the same stage is really, really cool.
And it was funny. Some of us guys were doing the comparing.
Of course.
And I got the good jobs. I got to introduce yourself. I got to introduce JJ Gilmore, and I probably got to introduce your dad as well.
Yeah.
So
it's a good bunch.
It was a great day that day. So it was.
It was excellent.
And obviously they're taking it forward now. We're looking at Freckfest 2014.
It's going to be good this year.
Oh.
It's an ongoing thing. I'm sure this year's going to be better than last year, and so on. They're just going to take it as far as they can.
It's
for the community as well.
I mean, that's it. Yeah,
just to show that there's still something there. There's still live music. So
and there is a music community.
It's huge.
In this, it's huge. Mm-hmm. I mean, the fact that I've had sessions just about nearly every week with local bands coming in, and also having people texting me and phoning me saying when they can get in. So it's looking very good.
List,
well, it's a forum for local bands, so it's getting them in.
And it helps them out if they get that feeling that they're going on a radio station and kind of exposing their music.
Now you've just completed a small tour with JJ Gilmore.
Yeah, it was good fun, yeah.
I mean, we hit on it there, but what's it like to tour with a guy? I mean, I look on JJ as a bit of a Scottish legend.
Oh, he is. He's been all over the world doing what he loves, which is amazing. And for kind of like a kind of mentoring me, it's been pretty special. I've been quite lucky, actually. And just the things that you pick up off someone like that, it's kind of been there and done it and seen it all. It's really, really good, and just learning stage presence and amongst everything else, it's good. You take on board every little bit from.
Do you? I mean, when you're obviously in the audience and you're watching them perform, do you say, "Oh, that's clever. I must remember that." All these wee bits and pieces.
Yeah, it's just kind of. It just kind of sticks in your mind. It's not as if you go, "Oh, I'm going to do that next time I play."
Yeah.
It's an influence thing. For some reason, it just kind of latches on. You're not trying to be like that person.
No, of course not. Of course not.
You're being around someone that's good at it.
Yeah, it was a great night at the Harbour Arts Centre. You were there supporting JJ Gilmore, but you also ended up singing with him.
Yeah, obviously singing the Cowboy Lament.
Yeah,
which is for the person that wrote the song and me up singing it. It was a good moment. So it was.
That was the moment where I think he handed you the song. It's yours now.
I'm sure it's still his song.
It's yours. You can
if
look.
If he is listening, I'm sure.
You can look after it.
Yeah.
Now, you've been performing both solo and with your band at some Freckfest 2014 now feeder gigs at the Harbour Arts Centre. And now, I will say, I've loved hearing the new songs, whether you did them with a band or whether you did them acoustically. And I've got to say, there's a maturity about them now, Sean. And you've even got a bluesy feel to some of the songs.
There's a little... that was some of the more kind of later stuff that I've been working on. It's a bit more attack on it.
Is that just a kind of natural progression for you?
It's just what came. There's obviously the influences deep down of a lot of deep blues and rock and roll, a lot of kind of heavier rock. So obviously that might be my next kind of route going down. However I feel, a lot of the artists suppose whenever they're tied down, they have to stick to the one kind of genre, or they choose to stick to one genre. But just however I'm going to feel. It's, at the end of the day, it's all about the song. It's whatever sound you put around it.
That's it. Anyway, Sean, we got an wee text in there, and it says, "Sounding great, Sean. All the best in Nashville from Disco."
Excellent. Thanks a lot, Dave. He's a top buddy, man. This me and Dave work together in the studio, and big up to him. He's got the most patience and such an intelligent guy and great piano player as well. So some of the stuff it's been combined between myself and him, so hats off to him as well. So.
Do you do, I mean, when you're in the studio, Sean, and you're recording, do you do your own production?
Yeah, well, it's obviously after a while you get to, you know what you like after a while.
Yeah.
Which, so it's been most of what I'm looking for, and put my own stamp. But Dave has also been there to any advice, thinking take this direction here or so. But I mean, majority of it's I've got my own kind of idea of where I want to go, and also influences from my dad and stuff, just as a third person, just for advice, which is good. So, are
you still writing with your dad, Sean?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, we're both busy doing separate stuff, so whenever we can. So. It's a good combination when it really blends.
Yeah.
I know some fathers and sons have their moments, but when it does work together, it's a good.
It's special.
It's a good relationship when it works. At times it brings out the best in me, which is pretty cool. So.
What do you think, Sean? Do you think I could get the Colin Kennedy band in here for a wee acoustic session?
I'm sure he's probably listening, but you'll have to ask him. I'm sure if you ask him, he'll come along and do something with the guys.
Yep, I will certainly. Is he going to Nashville with you?
I bet he wishes he was. In fact, I think he's actually looking forward to getting me out of the house for a bit. So
it was funny. I actually did think he was going, and I had Ricky Black in the other day, and of course Ricky, fantastic top guy. He has helped raise so much money for charity, and he was in, and he goes, "I can tell you, Ronnie, Colin's not going. I'll work for him."
That's funny.
Yeah. Well, before the top of the hour, we had Counting Crows and their version of the Joni Mitchell song Big Yellow Taxi, and then we had a Beatles and the Stones double there. We had A Day in the Life, of course. That's the track that closes the album Sgt. Pepper's, and there from Goat's Head Soup, the Rolling Stones and Angie. Now, Sean, I know we were talking there about the kind of Beatles. They were masters. I think, I mean, personally, I think they kind of revolutionised songwriting.
Of course, yeah. Look at how many people have inspired.
Yeah.
Crazy.
I mean, what kind of stuff have you been listening to? I know you've been busy in the studio,
been busy,
but when you get that time,
there's always time to listen to stuff, and there's a lot of time I just go back and listen to stuff. It's the same old stuff, but lately, actually, well, obviously the guy Amos Lee I listened to released a really good record called Mountains of Sorrow, was it Mountains of Spring? Whatever. Check him out. His new album anyway. But and I've been getting back to listen to some Silencer stuff since I've been spending.
I had a look, Sean, but there's nothing on the system.
No, that's fine. I've been listening to some Silencer stuff.
I mean, I was a big fan of the Silencers, and they've got their second album, Blues for Buddha, is just. Oh, it's just a fun. I mean, don't get me wrong. Letter from St. Paul is a great debut album, but what a leap for the next album.
That's a good songwriting on it.
And then, of course, JJ joined them.
Yeah, he was the new face.
He was the brand new face, of course.
He was the voice.
He was the voice. I mean, it gave them two singles.
Yeah, I know.
Basically, and they became a really good band. Yep. And I love the story about the Wild Mountain Time. Am I right in thinking that he actually lost a lot of money out of that, or did he gain a lot of money?
I don't know the full story.
I know. But it was a big hit for them, so it was all over Europe. It was a hit everywhere except here.
They were big in France, so they were really fun.
Yeah. Great band. Do you see when you're writing a song, Sean? Do you know when it's time to actually stop the song? Or do you get tempted to, depending on the story in your head, to actually keep writing verse after verse after verse?
Yeah, well, obviously you look at Bob Dylan, and you're getting the story across. He was a master. I think there was one song that we spoke about my dad and one of his friends, his drummer Tommy, actually, and it was a song that was obviously inspired by the Titanic and the passengers on it. I think that was on his album just before his last album.
Yeah,
I think anyway. And there was 63 verses or something like that, and you like carry the story on for as long as you want. But I mean, obviously the kind of stuff that I'm doing's obviously you want it to be as commercial as possible, but still be listenable for a long time. So I've kind of learned to get to the point.
Yes.
If it has to carry on, fair enough, like an album track, but get to the point if just to make it kind of radio friendly, I suppose. But some songs will just suit being short, I think. Depends what you fit in.
Yes,
some songs you can nail the song in the first line, and that's probably the hardest thing to do.
Now, one of my favourite songwriters at the moment, and we've mentioned him, you just happened to drop that you were playing football with him, is Justin Curry.
Yeah.
Now Justin, obviously, great solo artist. Since he left Della Mitre, I mean, he's had a few really good albums out. I mean, the Lower Reaches album, which I've got a track coming up just shortly, and of course the album before that, The Great War. Just so many good songs on it.
Yeah.
But Della Mitre got back together,
that was excellent.
and they have sold out every gig that they've done.
Yeah, I mean, I was there at the Hydro and stuff. And,
I'm jealous
because that was something that I grew up listening to before I even started playing music. And great, what a songwriter! He's a very intelligent man too.
Yes,
and I tell you what, his voice was impeccable. I'm not joking. There was not a hint of being off or out of tune. It was amazing. Take the hat off to him, and I believe he did not touch a drink of alcohol for the full tour.
My goodness.
But yeah, we had a wee football match last Friday, so it was quite good to play alongside him and then have a chat afterwards. So.
Is he pretty good at football?
Yeah, he's pretty good. Yeah, he's got a good kind of football brain. So
wow,
it was just good fun. It's just a lot. It was like a lot of musicians were playing in Glasgow.
I'd love to have got to the gig at the Hydro.
Yeah, it was pretty special.
So because I was a big fan of Big Dish as well.
Yeah, they were good as well, and that was two songs that stick out in my mind when I was maybe 5 and 6 in the back of the car. It was Miss America.
Oh, great track!
And for me, that's one of the top 5 songs that I'll always remember, kind of thing. It was what I grew up to, alongside what was the other one, Parade, Waiting for the Parade.
Yeah, that's it.
Great song. I never played it that night, but it was good to see them as well. They were more of obviously they were supporting and stuff, and they were a good warm-up act.
Yeah, a great double bill. I mean, for lovers of Scottish music.
Yeah, of course. I mean, everyone loved it. It was packed, so it was.
Yeah.
It was just good. It was good to see them. People like that deserve to be playing on big stages and to crowds like that.
It's funny when lots of bands like disappear, Sean. A lot of people don't realise what they had until they go away.
Yeah.
And then, of course, they get back together. I don't know whether Della Mitre plan to do another album or whether it's just.
Hopefully they do.
Yeah, of course.
Really cool.
Yep. Anyway, we're going to take a track from Justin's album, The Lower Reaches.